want to start? This is the UFOA President Jake Lemonda, and he'll explain his version of the CON-CON. And we also have Gerard Fitzgerald, President of the UFA, and he'll tell you what the UFA is doing. Okay, please give him your attention. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Jimmy. It's great seeing so many familiar faces. I probably know more faces here than I do at general membership meetings. So I guess I'm getting close to being on that side of the table. However, I'm not going to talk about the ramifications of the potential vote on Proposition 1. We've educated our membership about the CON-CON for close to 3 years now. And we were strictly talking about Constitutional Convention. Also, you're going to start hearing us talking about Proposition number 1, because that is where this referendum will appear on the ballot as Referendum 1, and it's actually going to be on the reverse side of the ballot. So we all know the potential ramifications. The last Siena poll, which is probably now about 4 to 6 weeks old, puts it at a 16-point spread of those polled. Those polled would vote in favor of a constitutional convention. So that's 6 weeks old, but there's much work for us to do. So what I'd like to talk about is what the UFOA Executive Board has laid out as our plan. As I spoke before you before, we have partnered with the AFL-CIO. New York is Against Corruption. That's the independent expenditure organization, and all the money is getting funneled through them. Additionally, we have partnered with the Public Employees Conference. A fellow named Gordy Warnock is leading that committee. He's associated with the New York State Police, a long-time Albany lobbyist, and a very, very well-informed and educated person. And he's spearheading the Public Employees Conference campaign. So we've joined up with both of these organizations, and also, additionally, the UFOA will be doing some of these activities on their own. Some of you may have received an email from us last week. The AFL-CIO is sponsoring what's called walking tours, and basically this is targeted to union households, okay, across the state. They have addresses of union members, and this is all about educating other unions and their membership to get out and vote. So why is that important? Well, this election cycle, okay, coming up, there is no prominent national election. There's no prominent statewide election. In the city, we're voting for mayor, and by all polls, it's going to be a runaway. So all indications are that there's going to be a very, very low turnout statewide. So why is that important for labor? Well, if we estimate that if 70% of union members and their households turn out and vote on election day, this referendum, this proposition will be soundly defeated. 70% of union members and their households turn out and vote on election day. We're estimating that this goes down big time. So what's the most important thing that we can all do is you got to go out and vote. If you think your pension's worth it, take a few minutes, go out and vote no. I really don't care what else you vote on, but you need to vote no on Proposition 1. Typically, the UFOA, going into election season, we put our members to work for various candidates. This season, we're going to be working for us, brothers. We're going to be working for you. And the sole intention is to defeat this referendum to protect your pensions. That's where our focus will be. So let me just go on We asked support of the active and retired members. We received tremendous support. It was outstanding. So now we're going to put our plan into action. The first thing that we did, we partnered with the UFA, and the UFOA purchased 16,000 vehicle magnets. I believe the UFA purchased somewhere around 25,000. So the thought process behind that was we'll get about 45,000 vehicles on the road with the message on the rear of their vehicles to vote no. I'm going to tell you right now, if those magnets are on the back, are your refrigerators at home, they're doing nobody any good. Give them to somebody else to put them on their car or put them on your vehicles. Now is the time. The battle has begun. Get them on your cars and get the, hold on. Tony, how did I know it was going to be you?
Just one question. Is it true that if you don't vote, it's considered a yes vote?
Tony, I will address that at the end, okay? But now that you thoroughly confused me and I lost my train of thought, how about those Yankees?
We're talking about magnets.
Okay, so the thought process was to get 45,000 vehicles from Montauk to the Catskills, all sending the same message. The next thing that we have done, I spoke about these walking tours. If you have a couple hours, we're going to give the locations. There'll be board members present. You go out for a couple hours, you'll be knocking on friendly doors. They are union members. We'll distribute literature. The next thing, as you see to the left and right of me, we have lawn signs, okay? Once again, let's send the message to our neighbors. Let's vote no. More importantly, too, don't be shy. I know you guys aren't shy. Put them around the neighborhood. As I went up and down Hillside Avenue, there's all sorts of lawn signs advertising county executive and judges. Let's put them out there. Put them out there in their schools, okay? Let's get these out. We've ordered approximately 5,000 signs for our members to put out on their lawns and around the neighborhood. The final phase of, well, in between, on the days leading up to Election Day, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, UFOA has purchased advertising. We're going to try to do a mass advertising in local papers such as Newsday, Upstate, the Journal, and some other local papers. TV, radio. When I talk about TV, we're talking about local news stations like News 12 and News 1. We've taken spots to target audiences. Again, we're going to try to identify certain areas and send certain messages to those areas. Something those areas can identify. Here out on Long Island, the message is going to be, why spend $350 million on a constitutional convention when we could have put it into the Long Island Railroad system? So those will be targeted messages. Areas out upstate, such as infrastructure, the bridge. They just built the bridge Tappan Zee, replacing Tappan Zee. Okay, all the bridges need repair. Why just repair one? Okay. The last phase of what the UFOA is contemplating on doing, it's beyond contemplating. What we're going to try to initiate, and it's a big undertaking. We've purchased 300,000 palm cards. 300,000 palm cards. On the front of the card, it's going to be a simple message. Vote no on the Constitutional Convention. Vote no for Proposition 1. On the back, there'll be several reasons why you should vote no. Why everybody should vote no. Now, the objective is to put 300,000 palm cards in the hands of potential voters. So instead of asking our members to work for a politician, we're going to ask them to work for themselves. We're going to put these palm cards in the hands of our members. And that's right, we need 2,000 volunteers. Between 2,800 active members and 4,800 retired members, we believe that we'll get 2,000 and more to step up to deliver these palm cards. So when we were trying to figure out how to do this and the best way, again, we want to get our message out as close to Election Day as possible. We're going to ask the members to hand these out on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday before Election Day. It'll be up to you. You do it whenever you want. The next thing is, where do you hand them out? Well, you can simply walk around your neighborhood and hang them on your neighbor's door, or you could go to a local shopping center and hand them out there. Okay? It should take no time to hand out approximately 150. Again, the message is going to be strong why everybody should be voting against the constitutional convention. Problem is logistically. So how are we going to get 150 palm cards into 2,000 members' hands? So we're establishing distribution points in every area in which our members live. And we'll be sending out a date that you can go pick up these palm cards between certain hours. And if anybody else has any problems, email us, and then we'll get you the palm cards. But that will be the final phase, because they're predicting somewhere around 2.3 million voters. So if we could affect 300,000 voters, that's a huge percentage. And that will be the final phase of our plan. And in conclusion, I can't reiterate to everybody in this room, every single person in this room is vested in this cause, because every single person is receiving a pension check, or they will be expecting to receive a pension check. If you don't think this is possible, just look at how many pensions have been diminished across this country as we speak now. This is probably the biggest cause that this union has faced in the last 20 years. So let's put it to bed on Election Day. Let's not worry about electing delegates. We put it to bed on Election Day and it'll be over. Thank you.
Yeah, what he said.